In 6 years of making videos, I think this one might be the most difficult one I've done, and that's including the extremely awkward episode 1. I thought it might be easier if I took you out for a walk. I've made the difficult decision that I need to take some time off. I've spoken quite openly over the years about my mental health, including writing a whole book about my eating disorder experience. And lately I've chatted a lot about how much I've struggled with the huge transition of moving house. But recently I've come to a new understanding of why I found that change so particularly difficult. I found out about a year ago that I'm autistic, and I've been struggling with how to tell people about that. It's such a big shift in how I see myself in the world, but one that makes sense of so many things I've struggled with, both past and present. Over the last year or so, I've just become less and less able to cope with everyday things. I've felt overwhelmed both by my work and just by life in general, particularly my sensory experience. Sounds, smells, even colours can be so painful that they make me panic. I've also been having trouble with my eyesight. The eagle-eyed among you might have spotted several different pairs of glasses over recent videos as various opticians have tried to help me out. Basically, my vision is blurry and sometimes I can't even see clearly enough to read a couple of sentences. It takes a massive amount of effort to focus my eyes, so I've been finding it difficult to concentrate on anything, especially fine handwork like knitting or drawing. In short, I am completely exhausted and I've just got to give myself a break. What's made this decision so difficult for me is that I'm still interested in things. I'm still inspired and excited and motivated by all my creative projects. I've just lost the capacity to do them. It's so frustrating to be surrounded by unfinished projects that I really want to be working on and just not be able to do them. I think, like so many of us in our culture, I grew up believing that if I just tried hard enough, if I just set my mind to something, then it would be possible. But I've been trying so hard over the last year or so. I don't think I could have put my mind to it any harder. Despite my trying, things have been getting worse and worse. Meltdowns and migraines have just been becoming more frequent. So I've decided I need to take sick leave. I need time off to rest and recover, and probably to rethink what my life and work looks like to better fit my needs. The problem is, in the UK in 2024, as a self-employed person, I'm not entitled to any sick pay. And as a one-human business, there is no team to keep things running while I'm away. So I've decided to close my shop. I will close at the end of July for at least a couple of months, and I'm going to stop making videos for a while. There might be some hiking videos that pop up in my time away because my friend Kat and I have already recorded our Southwest Coast Path hiking adventure, but there won't be any Green Bean podcast videos for a while. I've thought long and hard about what to do about Patreon, and while it does offer a holiday mode, I realised that turning it off might deprive people who want to continue giving me financial support through this difficult time from the easiest way of them doing so. So instead, I've decided to leave Patreon running, but I've simplified the pay structure. For the time being, it's just pay what you can, and all patrons will receive access to my full back catalogue of extra videos. In fact, if you're not a patron already, this might be a really nice time to sign up, because if you're going to miss Jack and I while I'm away, there's more than 50 extra videos there that you could catch up on, at the same time as giving me a few pounds a month towards my living expenses while I'm going through this difficult time. Of course, there's absolutely no pressure to join or to stay a member if you don't want to during this time where I'm not going to be making anything new, but any support you are able to offer will be received with huge gratitude. It's crept up on me, but when I look back, I can see that this has actually been building for a long time, and I've just been really, really frightened to let go. But I'm encouraged actually by knowing that I've been here before. I had a breakdown, or as I now understand it, an autistic burnout after my graphic memoir, Lighter Than My Shadow, was published. Interestingly, I'd also just moved house to a different part of the country, so it seems like big life transitions can be a huge trigger for me. And at that time, it was also really scary. I completely lost my ability to engage in the work that I loved, which was drawing, and I had to reckon with what that meant for my identity as an artist who had just arrived in the world with their first published book. It was devastating, and like now, I had to deal with lots of feelings about failure and about letting people down and about disappointing myself. What got me through that burnout, in fact, was knitting. And it was a totally different outlet for my creativity, a passion or a special interest, if you like. And over time, as I recovered, I combined my love of knitting with my love of drawing into what became eventually this podcast and then a shop. And now we're here in a place I never could have imagined, certainly not when things started to fall apart. And when I look at it from that point of view, I start to wonder, actually, if it's a part of my creative cycle. What if it's a natural process, like the ebb and flow of a tide or mushrooms breaking down a log? Yeah, it's terrifying to let go of things, but surely it's scarier to think about doing the same thing forever and ever without pause or rest. In nature, nothing's constant, and things break down and rot and enrich the soil for whatever might come next. And in that, there's a spark of curiosity, of wondering what might be possible if I really allow myself to stop and make space for something new to grow. But first, rest. I couldn't leave you without a bit of Jack, so here's a little mountain walk. I hope you enjoy it.
you.